All right, here we are for round 3. One lander on the play, but these are the one-landers that I think you can keep when you have all these one-drops, because even if I miss a land on turn 2, I can play a second one-drop, and if I don't, if I do hit in the first, not even the first turn, I have 2 turns to hit a land, but a lot of the decks, turn 1 Goblin Guy, turn 2 Swift Spear, turn 3 Swift Spear might even beat some decks, like some slower decks of Modern. Not that there are that many of them, but Skullcrack and Searing Blaze. Well, Searing Blaze is pretty. Searing Blaze is kind of an interesting one to have in this hand, because if I get there, it's almost like sort of going to be a brick, because Ether Vial, okay, because it's not a situation where I'm probably going to be tapping my man. Like, I'm probably not going to have the land drop up. Like here, we're going to fetch, so we just don't have the ability to Searing Blaze for 3, but it's not a bad insurance policy, and we ripped a land, so it's pretty absurd. He got a Godless Shrine, but he can have all the shock lands he wants. Looks like we're playing against Eldrazi Taxes, which I've never really played or even thought about a matchup like this. If he's got a path here, I don't really mind it that much. If I draw another land, it's just absurd. Another Swift Spear. It's almost better. Play this first. Lava Spike you. And we're swinging. And like I said, like this draw, even though I don't only have 1 land, like if you get there, it's just so hard for many decks to beat you. Well, that Eldrazi Temple's pretty good. If he's got, it's only saving him 1 life, and is actually giving me another land, which is pretty nice. Though, if he is going to win this game, it's probably going to involve a Thought-Knot Seer next turn. Which is kind of unfortunate. But if I draw a land, I can attack and just Searing Blaze it. And I don't think he can take Skullcrack out of this hand. Oh, well, he's just got a Thalia. Okay. Vial. It's going to be a Thalia. Another Thalia? A Tidal Scholar. Sure. So he's just dead? No, actually. He's not dead, but he's dead to a land and most spells. What could I draw that it wouldn't kill him here? I think that every draw in my deck kills him here. No, Goblin Guide or Swift Spear, because Thalia actually prevents them from coming into play. Untapped. Thalia is interesting. I need to make sure that, now that I know he has it, that I play around that. If I have, like, random Shocklands or Inspiring Vantages in my hand. Though I guess most of my lands cards are non-basic. So it's probably going to screw me. I have like nothing in my sideboard. I wonder if this is a Path to Exile matchup. Like, Path is so awkward in Burn, but any deck that's going to be playing Thought-Knot Seer, it's pretty nice to be able to actually break that up. Eidolon is not great, because he's got Vial, Thought-Knot Seer. I could end up losing to my own Eidolon. I think that Skullcrack could be good against some sideboard cards if he's... No, there's not even that much. He could have, like, Core Firewalker. I think it's probably worth it to board in Path on the draw. Cut Skullcrack. And I'm going to cut Shard Volley. If he's got, like, Arbiter Ghost Quarter, like, I'm going to be cut off lands. Thalia cuts me off lands. I don't really love Shard Volley. So yeah, that's going to be it. I could board in the Deflect. I could board in Revelry, but I don't think... If he had Blade Splicer, maybe I would, but all we know about is Ether Vial or Tidal Scholar. So it's kind of tough. I mean, Revelry could be better than Helix, but the problem with Revelry is I don't think I want more than 1 or 2, and I don't want to have to be fetching up green against a deck with Ghost Quarter. Like, he can just Ghost Quarter my Stomping Ground. I'm not sure about 1 Skullcrack, though. Like, maybe I want another Skullcrack instead of Lightning Helix. Like, what card could it be? The only card I can think of that they would have is Core Firewalker. Like, they're not going to have timely reinforcements, are they? I mean, if he does, we can just beat that with creatures. Alright, let's submit. Path also deals with Thalia. Like, Thalia is going to be kind of a problem in some of my draws. Especially if my mana is being attacked by, like, Guardian of Thraben. This is what I get for putting the Path in. But I think this is a keep. Because this hand's pretty safe from a lot of shenanigans. Okay. So how do I want to play around? Like, do I want to play around Lean and Arbiter? Do I want to play around... What do I want to play around? I think what I do is I just fetch. Thins my deck, too, which is kind of nice. And I play the Grim Lavamancer. Grim Lavamancer's got to be really good in this matchup. But he's got a Path. My hand actually can't capitalize on it. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Swift Spear, but he's probably not even going to Path the Swift Spear. Fetching up basic is a little awkward because now his subsequent paths are really good. He's going to have a Scholar. Oh, he's going to have a Core Firewalker. Okay. So, I got a little punished based on sequencing here. I don't want to give him a land. Well, I got really punished by not just playing the Sacred Foundry. But thinning my deck is also nice. The question is, do I want to have him have a land and be at 2 less life? A land means he could very easily play a Thought-Knot Seer next turn, which I want to prevent for 1 turn. I guess what I could do is play the Swift Spear and just... Ooh, play the Swift Spear and just pass? It gains him so much life, though. If I Path, essentially 3 days. Yeah, we're just going to Path. Well... It's kind of tough because, like, the caves. Oh, this only does... Yeah, we're just going to pass. No, that's right. I forgot that pathing this and then attacking is only 1 damage. Because if I want to play the Swift Spear first, then he just gains a life. Thinking if there's a reason to path this upkeep. I don't think this guy could actually be playing... We saw a Drowsy Temple, but he could be playing Brave the Elements. Like, we did see a bunch of white creatures. Okay, well, Thought-Knot Seer, it's going to be pretty hard to beat Path. Path, Core Firewalker, Thought-Knot Seer. That is, like, going to beat 95% of my draws when I'm on the draw. I can actually beat that when I'm on the play, believe it or not. We can actually beat a Thought-Knot here, too. It's not going to be the simplest thing, but... I have another path that I can draw. Really hoping this is a... Oh, this is a that Thalia. Okay. Searing Blaze. Hopefully he doesn't have another path. We kind of need to ride this Swift Spear. We have 8. We have 11 damage next turn. And we know he doesn't have a Thought-Knot. Oh, a Wasteland Strangler, looks like. Okay, I mean, that's not the end of the world. Would rather play against that than a Thought-Knot, unless he's got a Thought-Knot too. Okay, Thalia, sure. Kind of unfortunate that we can't play both Boros Charms, but we have enough mana where it doesn't really matter. It's going to be a top deck war. I'm going to have to draw, like, burn right away. Kind of wish one of these was a Helix, actually. Still have tons of live draws, obviously. But he does too. Like, anything he plays here increases his clock by so much. That actually is one of his worst creatures. He needed, like, a Tidehull Scholar or something, or an Eldrazi Displacer, or, like, his best draws. And something? Wow. Okay, so we're just dead next turn? So I need... I guess I need, like, a Searing Blaze. Or a Bolt. Okay. I think I kill this Thalia. Well, this comes into play, right? And I don't have anything in exile right now. I guess... Do I really have to Boros Charm now? Like, if I kill the Thalia, that lets me Boros Charm now. I don't think it really matters at all. Though, if he draws a Thought Knot, then he can Displacer me on draw step. Or, sorry, if he draws like a Thought Knot, he can Displacer the Thought Knot on my draw step to hit like a Rift Bolt or something. But the problem is... I can't even cast... Oh yeah, I absolutely have to kill this, because if he draws a Tide Hollow or a Thought Knot, or like an Inquisition of Kozilek, we just lose. Because we lose our other spell. It was pretty simple once I thought about it. So now we need a Searing Blaze, we need any burn spell, pretty much, barring some sort of life gain from him. Because we're definitely dead next turn. Searing Blaze was absurd. I think that was Zealous Persecution. 12. So if I killed the Thalia, I'd still die, right? That's a very suspect card for him to have. I hate that when people say that, oh, that card's awful once you kill me with it, but it is pretty good here. Does kill Grim Lavamancer, I suppose. Can't be so bad, because it's probably better than a lot of the stuff he's sided out. I actually think that Deflecting Palm could be good. We didn't see much. It's just like a Searing Blade. It's just like a worse Lightning Helix, though. Because I don't think he's got Smasher. Skullcrack is okay, because we saw Core Firewalker, so I'm going to put another Skullcrack in. And board out, like... I don't really like Goblin Guide against him. I don't really like giving him lands. And it's really bad against, like, Thalia. Like, Monastery Swiftspear can at least attack into Thalia. And, like, Core Firewalker better than Goblin Guide can. But I think we're just going to stay with Helix. Like, the amount of times I use Skullcrack to kill a Core Firewalker versus the amount of times that Helix... Like, if you saw that last game, had I drawn a Helix, I would have had... Instead of Boros Charm, I would have had 3 more life. This hand is reasonable. I do have a path, so I can deal with... a Core Firewalker, which is nice. No 1-drop, which really sucks, but... I'm not going to take a minimal amount of damage this game, and I have a turn 2 Eidolon. If he's got a Vial, it could be interesting. But double Searing Blades is pretty absurd. It's like my best card here. Kills every creature in his deck. Lightning Bolt's nice. Thalia would be pretty annoying here, because it means I'd have to use a land drop. But... Gonna have to be careful about our own life total here against our Eidolon. His Vial is gonna give him free spells. If he's got like Tidehole Scholar or something, okay, that doesn't really matter. Because he can't really block that effectively, and he had to take 2 to play that. If he's got if he goes Vial up to 2 and Vials in, that's actually kind of a problem, because it means he could have Thalia. I really want to save this land drop if I can. Well, let's see what he does. Really not hoping for the main phase Vial. I think if he does that, I'm just gonna Shock Bolt him. If he had Firewalker, I think he would have played it. Ghost Quarter is interesting, but nice that I don't want to give him white sources that don't deal himself damage. This is going to be a really close game. I can already kind of feel it. Not having a 1-drop is the huge difference. Though having an Eidolon in play is kind of nice. I guess I fetch in response. I don't love shocking here, but I think it's right because he's got the Ghost Quarter. I think I'm just going to bolt the Thalia. No, I'm going to bolt him. If I draw Helix, I can Helix the Thalia. He didn't Vial in response, which is interesting. No, what if I bolt the Thalia? Because he could have like a Tidehollow Scholar or something. That would be really annoying. Though he probably would have done that in response to my fetch line. I just don't think he has a relevant 2-drop. He could have a Core Firewalker. That's the thing that he could have that would be really annoying. If I bolt him, then I don't draw a land. So let's... Oh, it's so weird that I have the Searing Blades, but I think I am just going to bolt the Thalia. I'm not in love with this play because it means I'm really far from actually killing him. Another path is actually reasonable. Because I think he might... if he had a Firewalker, I think he would put it in play, yeah. So yeah, we got kind of punished here. But we can just Helix his face. It doesn't actually change much. The only way we get really punished there is if we draw... If I would have drawn a land, it would have been much better. But double path is actually pretty nice. Assuming our threat sticks. As soon as he kills our threat, like, it's pretty ugly. It's a good draw. I mean, any burn spell's good, but that means that our Searing Blaze is turned on, which almost certainly is going to Vial something in here. No, Drowsy Displacer. Okay, well, he can... Should I fetch now? He can blink my Displacer. See, this is the thing that I talked about. Like, I'm getting pretty low. If he draws a removal spell for my Eidolon, my paths... Having path in the burn deck is just so incredibly awkward. But I think I'm still favored here. Now that his Vial is actually on 3, that's actually a pretty big game for me, because it means if he draws any 2-drops, he can't actually play them without taking damage off Eidolon. Drawing both of our paths is obviously unlucky, but it's nice to not lose to Core Firewalker. He's in the tank here, so I guess maybe he's got a path or something? He's going to path my guy? Probably just going to blink it, but... Let's put him to 5. Which means if he has a path, he's going to go to 3 and be dead to any burn spell. Still don't have anything exiled. It's possible he's on a Wasteland Strangler. Okay, he's just going to blink. That makes sense. But he's still going to 5. Even if he draws, like, threats, double pass still buys me a ton of time to protect my life total and draw into stuff. And if his plan is to just Vial out 3-drops one at a time, like, he's eventually just going to die to this Eidolons plus path backup. He's got another Displacer that's a bit annoying, because it means he's gonna he's going to be able to blink my Eidolon and not go below 3, but looks like he's got a Wasteland Strangler. Yeah, maybe Wild Mikado is just the way to go. Like, if this Helix was a Wild Mikado, which is kind of like usually what you're playing instead, he would have just been so crushed this game. like he's going to path my guy. I think he's been holding path for a while. Oh, he's got a Resto Angel? That would be quite unfortunate. But there's not really much I can do about that. Okay. It's not the end of the world. But he's going to go to 7? I could see why he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to be at 3 life. So, I mean, we're going to have to just outdraw him here. Burn versus, burn spells versus creatures. I do have 1 path, so I might be ahead. Hopefully his last card's a land. Did have to path before blockers. Okay, I think I am going to fetch end of turn. I have another fetch. So I think thinning is the right thing to do here. If I draw Searing Blaze, I just have another Bloodstained Mire. Any reason to play it now? I guess so. So I can end of turn Searing Blaze. Alright, now we're looking for a Boros Charm or still any creature. Oh yeah, definitely play the fetch, because then if he Thought Knots me, I can, like, still Searing Blaze it with the trigger on the stack. Creature? Okay, only 2 fetchable lands left in my deck, so I wonder if I'm supposed to fetch one of them. Very awkward if I just draw the other. We've hit 2 lands, but he's drawn 2 lands as well. Well, actually, he could have drawn a removal spell. Blessed Alliance is kind of scary. If he draws another Blessed Alliance, that could be trouble. I am just going to thin, though. I think that just, even though my deck's, at this point, like, at this point I just need to draw any spell. If I draw the last mountain, it's really awkward, but it's still worth it to increase the shot of me, upkeep. He's got a Blessed Alliance? I'm actually... I forgot he had the Ghost Quarter in play. Let's go ahead and not search. I think it's better to have the land in my deck. I think we Lava Spike. Because if he draws a Thought Knot Seer, I don't want him to be able to take that. Still feel like we're very favored here. Like, any burn spell's probably going to win me the game. Ooh, another Ghost Quarter. It's kind of annoying. But I guess I'd rather him draw this than any spell. He's going to kill another Sacred Foundry. Okay. Still not going to search. Lavamancer. It's possible he's been sitting on a burn spell for a long time. But Lavamancer's great, obviously. Well, what would have been awkward is if he drew a Tidal Scholar, because I'd have to, like, kill it with the trigger on the stack. I guess I could just let it resolve. Oh, he's been holding onto a Zealous. Okay. Another Ghost Quarter. Oh, shoot. Well, that's super bad. He just drew 3 Ghost Quarters this game. I mean, I guess it's still better than him drawing a spell, but now all my white cards don't do anything. I can actually fetch a mountain now. No, I can fetch a mountain now, maybe, to thin the deck. Because I have the Scalding Tarn to play. Though, it's still Thought Knot Seer. Like, I still want to be able to fetch that mountain in case he draws Thought Knot Seer. Rift Bolt. Ooh, do I suspend it? If I suspend it, he can Wasteland Strangler it. And fetching also thins the deck. So let's do that. Could also play like a Thalia or something. It's only bad if he draws a Thought Knot Seer this specific turn, but yeah, maybe that's just loose. If he draws Wasteland Strangler, though, he could be holding on to a Wasteland Strangler. He's got Ether Vial, so he can just play it in my draw step. But then he's just dead. I don't know. I forgot that he had Ether Vial. The fact that he has Ether Vial on 4, I didn't even notice it was on 4. I hadn't even looked at it this entire game for a while. Did it just go up to 4? He must be tanking over playing a creature or not. He probably figures... But what is he going to do? Just never play a creature? Okay, I'm going to play the Vantage. That's a pretty good draw. It means I have white mana. For a land, it's a pretty good... Obviously, my opponent's at 1, so saying something's a pretty good draw, it's probably just wrong. Everything's a bad draw that doesn't kill your opponent when they're at 1. Sheesh. Okay. Alright, now that is... I will admit that those were probably both bad draws, thinking about what draws I could have. But he's probably going to try to kill me with the Shambling Vent and just lose. Though he tanked on 1 turn, which makes me think that he might have... He might have like a creature that he's not playing to play around Searing Blaze, but there's no... That doesn't make any sense because the only thing he can hit... So what do I lead on? Do I lead on the Path? He could have a Resto Angel, so I think I try to Path the Shambling Vent, actually. I can't do both this turn. Playing the Searing Blaze is really bad against Resto Angel. Oh, Resto Angel doesn't stop this from going Dome, actually, right? Well, I don't think it matters. Don't think it matters. All right, we finally drew the burn. One more. Sometimes being the burn player, you get confused. You only have one. You get 2 tunneled, and you're not thinking about everything, which is a pretty big mistake by me. I should have just Searing Blazed. Resto didn't matter. If I Searing Blaze the Thalia, Resto doesn't... Like, the only card that matters is Blessed Alliance, I guess. So actually, now that I think about it, waiting is better. Waiting is definitely better, because he's got Blessed Alliance. He gains 4. If I Searing Blaze that not to kill... Yeah, no, waiting is better, because then I lose to Blessed Alliance. Turns out he didn't have it, but... Oh, found the Boros Charms. Alright.